Hey guys, and welcome to a Bed Wars video. Today, you're about to see the best player in the NA. That's right, it's me, Sons. Who are we with? Dylan. Oh, I didn't even get to read his name. He just ran off. I guess he wants me to do the bed. Okay, we got this. Oh, okay, he just instantly fell into the void. Awesome. I just started with the wrong block. Awesome. Yep. Pro gamer shots right here. That's what it's all about. Yep, even ran out of blocks. That's how you know we're goated players. Oh, come on. Okay, well, that didn't go to plan. Maybe he won't get our bet. Maybe he won't treat us nice. Oh god, why is he... Did you all see that? He moved at like 0.2 seconds. He teleported straight towards me. I have a rant, okay? So there's a new movie coming out, The Odyssey, which famously based off the poem of the same name, The Odyssey by Homer. And, you know, as somebody who, I wouldn't say obsesses over Greek mythology, but I certainly have a fondness to it. You know, I've started to look into it more recently. I was like, okay, I'm interested about this movie. And I watched the first trailer, and I was like, oh, okay. The first thing that I complain about is Tom Holland. Not a bad actor. Not complaining about Tom Holland himself. But it's the fact that, personally, I cannot take myself out of the role of, like, I look at him and I'm like, that's Tom Holland. It's not Telemachus, who's supposed to be the character he's playing. And I'm like, okay, but, like, you couldn't have gone somebody who looks a bit more, I don't know, Greek? Because, you know, it's a Greek movie. So you probably want somebody who has more, like, defining Greek features. But, okay, whatever. You know, it's just a resemblance. Next thing I know, Travis Scott is there. And I'm like, okay, why? You know? Because I get having big names in films, but lately I feel like it's gotten just to a problem. Like, you have, like, a cool film announced, like, the Minecraft movie, and it's like, okay, I can see that being a fun family film, Jack Black. And, like, I'm not hating on Jack Black. But, like, you couldn't have found anybody else who resembled Steve more. This is, like, the slowest rush I've ever done. Oh, my God. But, like, you couldn't have gone somebody who probably resembled Steve more, you know, animated film. Because I remember, like, the interviews for the Minecraft movie, they were all like, oh, but we want to take a different approach to the typical Minecraft and blah, 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 blah. But, like, okay, yeah, but, like, you know, you couldn't have found a different way of doing animation or, like, anything else. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a fun family film, but if y'all ever seen the movie Grown Ups, it feels like a Grown Ups movie just minus Adam Sandler. Like, it feels like it's just nothing. Like, I feel like a cool film based off of Dungeons lore. What's the other game that came out? Minecraft Legends. Something like that. Games that actually have proper lore to them. Something like that would have been so cool. Like, imagine an animated Minecraft Dungeons movie. People would have complained because it's the problem nowadays. Everybody will critique over anything. You will just have people, okay, I'm alone. Awesome. You know, we got this. Pro gamer right here. But the problem nowadays is people find a reason to complain over anything. You could be a studio and you can do everything right, and people will still be like, oh, but why'd you go for this? Why'd you do that? You know? So, it's just like, I don't know, everybody just complains on the internet now, and I'm no better. Look at me. I'm here complaining myself. But, like, sometimes the complaints are valid. Like, back to The Odyssey, you know, it's like getting big name actors for a very popular Greek poem. Please don't come for me. Why are you bringing TNT? But, like, I don't know, I feel, because from what I've learned about the Odyssey movie as well, oh, hello. From what I've learned about the Odyssey movie as well, they wanted to get somebody who actually had, like, big knowledge in old armor, like Greek armor and whatnot. But then they just, like, never contacted them and then just straight up ghosted them. And I was like, but, like, it would have been so much cooler of a movie. And then it's like, there's a couple actors in there, too, that are big names, don't get me wrong, that actually fit their role. Like, Anne Hathaway as Penelope, the Queen of Ithaca, and whatnot. I feel like Matt Damon, first trailer and hearing Matt Damon as Odysseus, I initially couldn't, like, picture it. But seeing it a bit more, I can kind of get there. And once again, I know it's big name actors, but like you kind of almost wish, oh, you almost kind of wish that like you would get actors that like kind of resemble like the characters more, because there's plenty of Greek statues that resemble Penelope, Odysseus, stuff like that. And you're just like, you couldn't have found anything or like reference things a bit more. So it's like, it's a whole thing. But then again, people will just complain for the sake of complaining, and I'm no better. Hello? Oh god. Oh god. 360. 360. Oh. Ooh. Oh god, that was close. Okay. We're gonna get armor, fireball. Oh god. Okay. Why do you have an emerald on him? Crazy. I'm scared. Aqua is not gonna touch me. Okay, that's swell. That is swell. But it's just like the biggest complaint in movies. It's either somebody will try and do like an independent film and nobody will be happy. Like, I remember Iron Lung getting a lot of complaints for whatever reason. Like, people didn't like, you know, how dark it was, or like it was too close to the games and following the gameplay loop. And it's like, but whenever a movie based off a game doesn't do that, everybody complains. But then you also have other adaptations where like it doesn't follow the game at all, but just uses the names, and people are like, but like, why is it not basically the game? And it's like, you can't make anybody happy nowadays. It's basically the thing. It's the same with gaming itself. Like, you try and create a game, I've noticed, any indie game developers, it's hard to get started because you're not based off an IP, you're a studio that probably nobody's ever heard of and whatnot. So it's hard to just get it off the ground. Meanwhile, if you're an existing IP, people will claim you for milking, people will say that you're ruining the IP, whatnot. Like, I guess there's some exceptions, like there's the whole God of War, the God of War trilogy, the ones that came out on PS4 and then PS5, people really liked. But other than that, it's like, personally, I just find it to be really difficult, I guess you could say, just in any space. Oh, hello, Aqua. Please don't. Please don't. I'm just a little silhouette of a man, please. But it's just the struggles of reality nowadays, is that the internet has gotten to a point of just there's no return. People will find any reason to complain for the sake of complaining. It's like oh my god, English is not my first language. Clearly, I'm speaking gibberishnese or something like that. But it's like that with streaming as well. Like, you either have content creators who, you know, obviously flaunt their wealth and their money and whatnot. People complain because it's just like, oh, but they gone to streaming just for the money, blah, blah, blah. But then you have other streamers where it's just like, they don't do that, and people are just like, oh, this is such a low quality stream, bad, get good, nah. The internet has gone to a point of just, nobody's happy. Because I remember back in the day, you used to be like, oh, I like playing Minecraft, and people would be like, oh, that's cool. I like Minecraft too. Or it's just like, oh, that's cool. Personally, Minecraft's not my thing. And nowadays, you're like, I play Minecraft, and it's just like, you're 30 years old and playing a children's game. Loki, you should play a better game, like Call of Duty, blah, blah, blah. And then you'd be like, I don't like Call of Duty. And they're just like, oh, so you just don't like any games. You know, you're a bad gamer. You don't know true gaming. And it's like, what happened to the point of people just being like, oh, that's not my thing, but that's pretty cool? What happened to those days? Like, it's one of the reasons why I don't talk about many of my interests nowadays, is because no matter what you talk about, you will get shamed. Like, I guarantee I could tell somebody, like, I love listening to Epic the Musical, and people would be like, oh, why would you listen to that? That's such a bad album, and nobody likes it. You're bad. Low-key, listen to Kendrick Lamar. And it's like, what? What is wrong with people? I'm gonna fireball him. Okay, I'm not gonna fireball him again. Oh. Back up. Back up, buddy. Back up. Don't touch me. That was kind of sad what happened to the Aqua guy. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like that was kind of my fault. Yeah, I'm so dead. Oh my god. Autumns and waffles. Yeah, we're cooked, chat. We are so cooked. I don't know why I said chat. This is not a stream. But we are just straight up cooked. Oh wait, never mind. We actually have a chance of winning this. Oh my god. Maybe the rants are working. Maybe, just maybe, we could actually win this. But like, it's just my whole problem with the internet. I know nobody will give two shits. Ah! No, we could have had that. Oh my god. But there's just something about the internet nowadays, but because of how accessible it is, people will just complain. Because I think COVID is one of the main reasons why everybody's just like this, because it's just a whole parasocial relationship with everything. You know, you will deeply get invested in Epic the Musical, which is a really great concept album, by the way. But you'll get like you'll see somebody get really into it, and then they'll start like, you know, being like, oh, this is the original source material, or like, this is that, this is this, like, and it's just like, well, no, and then you try and tell them, you know, it's not, you know, but here's the original source material, and they'll be like, oh, you know, I don't care about that, you suck, you know, die, or something like that. I hate everyone here. That is so real. That is so real. It's skibbity, but it's like the parasocial relationships on the internet are so out of hand, because you'll just try and tell somebody the opposite or like the truth, and it's just like they just don't listen. Am I alone again? Does this game hate me? What have I done to deserve this? I don't appreciate this. It's just a whole thing with the internet, really. I love you, Mythical. Oh, there are some things going on in chat. But it's like, it's just something that I've noticed over the years, because I remember, God forbid, I used to be into the Dream SMP. I think as a lot of people who were into Minecraft were. But I used to be into it. And I've noticed, I guess at the time I didn't really notice, but looking back, the parasocial relationships on that server was like crazy, because you would have people like genuinely fighting, sending death threats over shit that was happening on a Minecraft server. And it's like, I think ever since then, like, obviously it wasn't widespread across the internet. Like, there's probably points when it existed beforehand, but like, I think that's personally when I noticed it. And it's like, what happened to just respecting one another? And like, I get it, you know, respecting one another has also led to some other things, like, because now nobody wants to bully onto the internet, and, you know, free speech. Oh, I thought I hit him. How did I not hit him? Hello? Oh, hello? What was any of that? What? No! Out of here. Out of here. Don't touch my bed. Never again. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. That was a close one. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That was genuinely a close one. I was kind of shaking. But it's just the whole thing of just it's like, express yourself, but then you express yourself, and then you get shamed for expressing yourself. Ooh. Okay, he's dead. You're my little boo thing. Okay. But it's just a whole thing with the internet. I don't know. I try and just stay to myself, honestly, nowadays. In like the way that I don't talk about much of my interest, which I guess has made it hard for me to be a streamer, because I worry that if I, you know, talk about my interests, it'll end up as like, oh, you like that? Bad streamer, unsubscribe, nobody like. And it's just like, oh. Because I think it's also created, it's created anxiety, but also, okay, my bed. Why would you? Coward. But it's just created a whole sense of, you know, free expression for some people, but also major anxiety for others, where it's just like, well, now I don't want to talk about this, because what if I get, you know, death threats? What if I get a bomb sent to my house? What if I explode? Like, I think there's no really controlling the internet either. That's the main problem. Like, I know the US government has tried something. Oh wait, I just realized we have a teammate. Oh my god. Oh my god, we have a teammate. Oh my god. I can cry right now. But like, it's just like, you try and control the government. At least the US government. I don't know about the Canadian one, because that is where I'm from, but I know the US government has tried to mandate some control over the internet, but like, obviously, because, you know, oh, okay, it was not worth the effort, but it's just like, obviously that sparks outrage because of things like, then, you feel like you're limited on what you can watch, what you can say, who's on the internet, this and that. And there's some benefits, I will agree, like, keeping children off the internet for, safety reasons. But then there's also, like, major benefits. Like, say there's a streamer you watch, but they're not complying. So then it's just like, oh, okay, well, now I can't watch, somebody I've been watching for a long time. But then it's also like, you don't control the internet, and then you get, like, it's a whole mess. Because the best way I can explain it, I saw a documentary. I'll link in the description below. There was a documentary that I saw comparing the internet to, or not a documentary, but like a video essay. That's what I meant to say. Comparing the internet to how cable was back in the day. And honestly, I agree with it. Because it's just like, it's gone down the same rabbit hole. I think it was actually talking about streaming, not the internet. Like, video streaming like Disney Plus, Netflix, that whole thing. And it was just a really informative documentary. And I was just like, huh, I've never noticed that. Like, some of the main points that I feel so bad that I can't remember the name, but I think I watched it about a year or two ago. But, like, some of the points that they made is, like, back when cable first started coming out, it was unfiltered. Anybody could, have a channel, this and that. And then, when I think propaganda started to go live, obviously the government mandated it, and then you had to start paying for channels, and then it started to turn into this whole mess, which then the internet came along, and then you had free content like YouTube, and then Netflix was like one of the biggest streaming sites, but you paid like $2 for like every movie. I know it was a thing with like DVDs before, but then they became the first big streaming, but they had everything. So you were paying for one thing, but you were getting everything. But then it started to snowball ever since COVID to multiple streaming sites, and then now it's just, the internet's just one big, oh, you want to watch this content? Pay. You want to do this? Pay. And it's just like, I think they started to compare it like it's the government's way of like trying to mandate, or it's corporate greed, one of the two. I honestly forget, but it's such a really good video essay, and I would 100% recommend checking it out. Because once again, I think it mainly talks about streaming video streaming, I'll say, rather than like the internet as a whole. But I think it does stand true to the internet as a whole, in just the sense of, it's just a whole thing. Okay, no, we could have had that. Oh my god, damn pink, it's okay, because guess what, we're gonna get a fireball and we're just gonna rush in there. There's no way that they already have like endstone or something. Yeah, exactly. Watch this, chat. Watch this. Hoopity boopity. Hey, we got him. It worked. It worked out in the end. But yeah, I just find everything's just snowballed into, oh, my bad. Why would you do this? But it's just all snowballed into a level of extreme that I don't think there's any controlling, changing, or doing anything. Like, the internet with the way it is of just, judgment, critique, and just everything as a whole. There's no getting rid of that. TikTok will be the way it is. Twitter will be the way it is. It's just the fact that big companies own, and the higher the stocks go, the less they give a shit, frankly. But, and then it's like, I don't know why I said but. And then it's also like, with online content, like watching Disney Plus, watching Netflix, the more companies realize, oh, hey, this is working for Disney. We're gonna take all the content we like and, put it onto our own streaming service. Then you're suddenly paying like $5 for Disney Plus just to watch two things, $7 on Netflix, this and that. And I think it starts to go into music as well, where it's like, obviously Spotify, biggest dominator for the longest time. Like, I know iTunes was a thing, but that was like, I don't want to say more niche, but it's because like iTunes, if I remember correctly, back then used to be you had to pay for each individual song. But then Spotify was like free music, and then Spotify Premium, where it's like free music with ads, and then free music but like paid with no ads. And now it's like you have iTunes, you have Spotify, you have YouTube Music, you have SoundCloud, you have just like all these options, and it's just the internet's just turned into one bit. Did he just enter just his stuff? Why do people do this? Why do people decide to go into duos bed wars and just be like, hoobity boobity, I'm gonna enter just the stuff because I don't want to share with my teammate, but then I'm gonna complain to my teammate that, yeah. Hello. Okay. Come here. Come here. You want this. You want the sun. Here comes the sun. Do, 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 do. But it's just like, I guess you could consider the internet just one big minefield nowadays. Oh, okay. That did not work. It's just, the more I think about it, the internet can't really change the way it is. Like, 'cause the internet's just one unregulated minefield. Why would he do that? Ow. Why would he do that? Why would you do that? Don't fireball me. Don't do that. No. I mean, I could probably kill him. Oh, wait, never mind. The other guy's here. I can't kill him. Oh. You think you're sleek? You think you're smart? Iron sword? I mean, that's a bold choice. Oh! No! It's just how I personally feel. Is that there's no safety for anyone. You're all going to basically be unsafe if you're on the internet. Unless you watch me, of course. I'm kidding. I'm not that much of a sellout. But it's just... you're just kind of... The internet's just kind of screwed either way. Because it's like... What do you do? Well, hypothetically, say, you know, every government gets control of what gets put on the internet, what gets said, what apps people can download, this and that. It's like, then suddenly, technology becomes its own kind of battlefield. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I really hope this message is coming across the way I'm thinking of it. Of that, it's just kind of, we're screwed. We're just frankly screwed as a society. I think we should all just pack it up, move to Mars, get on a rocket ship in our favorite flying ship, zooming through the sky. You feel me? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the commentary. If you like this, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/SonsLive if you enjoyed this. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!